Okay, 2022 Doo GTX 300 Limited. Hooking to it with Can-Do Pro. I'm going to do the first oil change. But on the new ones, they won't let you reset the counter until the countdown timer is up on it. So I'll just have to change the oil and document it with a little over 10 hours, which Doo considers broke in at that point. So here we are. Got 10 hours and 33 minutes on this oil change. Countdown still has 2,368 minutes on it, and it's service counter 1, which is kind of crazy. I should be able to reset it whenever I want to, but I'll just have to keep a documentation of the times that I change the oil. Like this first time at 10 hours and 33 minutes. I'm going to look at my runtime RPMs during break-in. I varied the throttle like they asked for very few times, very low percentage of the time later on in the break-in period did I wide open throttle it and get in the 7520 to 8159 RPM range, which it has not turned loose the 8159 yet. I think 7700 is still the limit. It's the highest that I saw so far with a little over 10 hours on it. The Can-Do is still being developed for the 22, and hopefully it'll be fully functional soon. Right now it looks like I can read most everything. As far as the keys, you can see I have no key registrations. That's a 22 for you. The dealers may or may not tell you, but any desk key will work, and that's crazy. It makes no sense. The recall is coming, but as for now, they're just going to give you a desk ball lock, so you can lock the ball to keep other people's keys off of it to keep your machine safe. Okay, I'm going to take the cover off to access the oil filter. Ski pole cover has to come out because it's got three screws in there. I just leave the screws in the cover so they don't get misplaced. The front two actually have lock nuts in them, nylock nuts. The rest of them are threaded into the hole. This will open it up wide. Alright, we're positive. Okay, I'm going to pull the cover off of it. Now there's access to the oil filter and better access to the dipstick. Anytime you pump the oil out, it's good to pull the oil cap off. It helps it to vent while the oil's being sucked out. It don't hurt to go ahead and pull the oil filter out while you're sucking the oil out to give it a little bit of extra ventilation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and suck the oil out. Go in the dipstick hole. I go all the way to the bottom and pull back just a little bit. Turn the suction on, and the oil starts to come out. You can buy a hand pump, but this is much easier. pull the filter. Capture the oil. Okay, we're sucking oil still, getting down to the bottom. You can see the air bubbles. You can see how much oil is in here. It's about 3.5 liters, it looks like. Maybe, yeah, about 3.5 liters. Okay, we've got the new oil filter and the new O-rings. Got 3 O-rings with it. So first we pull the old oil filter off. New one out of the package. The black one goes on the bottom O-ring and the orange one goes on the top O-ring. Of course, the new ones, both are orange. So the thin one goes on the top groove and the thicker one goes on the bottom groove. You want to lubricate the O-rings. Some people just use engine oil. I use Steel Glide, a rubber lubricant, just a gel. I like to wipe the housing out with a clean rag. Everything looks nice to me. Okay. So as we're going back in, you don't want to pinch the O-rings. Just kind of draw it down, give it a little push. At first, maybe just hand tighten it as you're pushing the top. turn it, push it, and turn it until it completely bottoms, and then just put a little bit of, just a light torque. Okay, filter's installed. All we have left to do at this point is refill the oil. Okay. Using the Doo XPS factory oil and filter kit. We pulled about 3.5 liters out. That's what we're going to put back in, or somewhere close, and then we'll run it and check it. You don't want to overfill it. It was overfilled when I bought it. So if you're buying a new one, don't assume that it's been checked and it's the correct level. You don't want to aerate the oil. You don't want it overfilled. Definitely don't want it underfilled. Just somewhere in the running range, not above it. We'll fill it. Definitely don't use all the contents of the jug. Just fill it to a certain level, check it, run it, recheck it, and get it in the running range. It's quite a top of oil. So we got it full of oil. Dipstick checks full, but not over full. Just under full actually, which is better than over full. So we're going to go ahead and hit it with this anti-corrosive lubricant. It's always good anytime you got it in. Hit the ignition coils, just about everything under here. Now we run in fresh water, but still, anything around water you can get corrosion and rust, and this right here just inhibits it. And it's just a good protective measure. And it has this cover that goes over the coils too. Snaps on the fuel rail. Just like that. Spray a little on the cover too. And wipe that in. On the next service, I'll go ahead and change the spark plugs. I know it's premature, but that's the way I do. I do everything early. Got 10 hours, maybe 10.5 hours on the whole setup. So I'll do it again at 50 hours.